Hello to everyone, it's me Thales. You're watching to my channel about English language. It's been 2 weeks, I guess, about 2 weeks since I last recorded a video because I went under a surgery, right? I had undergone a surgery and I was recovering. I'm still feeling some pain now and then, but mostly I feel okay. So I guess I can record some videos from time to time. I spend most of the time resting on bed, right? I lay on bed to relax and to rest. And now I'm recording videos, okay? Let's get started. This video will be part of a series about human resources, right? So we will be talking about vocabulary, business vocabulary, and I'm studying in English many things about management, so it's a good idea to practice and to share some thoughts with you about it. All right, so let's get started. We were talking, I just have some keywords here, keywords that we will be talking about. The first of all is HR, right? HR is short for human resources, right? Human resource management is HRM, but the function, right? The HR function is human resources. Okay, so human resources started nowadays as a strategic process. So what is it all about? Well, when I first studied human resources, I remember the professor saying that human resources had evolved, right? Has evolved in the last 50 years or so, right? Human resources as we know today is not the same as in the past. In the past, human resources had a careful look at operational procedures, right? How things are done, what you have to take or to deliver in order to keep the process running. So it was basically operational, and managers, they didn't have a look at strategic things. And when we study human resources management in general, we talk about strategic role of human resources, strategic role of analysts and managers as well. But of course, we establish this parallel, right? We compare how human resources used to be in the past, and how human resources is currently, how it is currently seen, right, by the companies, and how we can use human resources in a way that we can improve results, improve the outputs, to bring the best people to work for the company and stuff like that. Okay, beginning here, I wanted to talk about human resources, but we have human resources management. So it's not only important to say that, I have a human resource department. Okay, I believe every company has a department that takes care of human resources. Some companies, they have a better and improved maturity regarding human resources, and others, they have less. It also depends on the company, right? When you have a huge company, a strategic company in Brazil, I have seen some companies changing their role, right? Their role as human resources, what they are supposed to do to bring about the best results. So, management in general is a supporting role, right? Management as a science, I'm saying. I'm not saying you as a manager, because maybe you're a manager, maybe you're not, it doesn't matter. Regardless of whether you're a manager or not, everybody must be concerned about human resources, because people are the most valuable assets of the company. They are the most important not a thing. They are people, of course, but they are the most important aspect to be looked upon. Why do I say that? Companies, they may, in order to become competitive, right, in order to build an advantage, right, a competitive advantage or over competition, they deploy many different strategies. Okay, I don't have the technology, so what am I supposed to do if I don't have the technology? Okay, you can, if you have money, you can acquire the tools, you can acquire the technology to do what you're supposed to do. But people, a team synergy, right? The core competencies, the knowledge, and the human capital, they can't be copied, right? It's not easy to imitate. When a company's main advantages rely on people, you can say that, okay, I have built a competitive advantage and it relies on people. Sure. So if I work for another company and want to benchmark, right? I want to aspire, I want to be as good as that company is. It's not about technology, it's not about tools, it's not even about management itself, it's about people. So that's why human resources is becoming more and more important over the years, okay? Here we are talking about human resources and human resources management, okay? Management is, as I say, it's a science. It's the science, right? It's a graduation course. Many people say, administration. I have a degree in management or a degree in administration. In general, when people talk about management, they talk about how we can manage resources, how we can manage people, how we can manage processes. As I said before, human resources is regarded as a strategic process nowadays, but it has not always been like this. It's something that is regarded, it's considered, is deemed important by the companies, but it has not always been like this. That's why I said in the beginning of the video that when I first studied human resources, the professor compared, right, how human resources was in the beginning, why the human resource function was built in the first place, and now, and what role it had in the past, and now what role it has. Of course, we will be talking a lot about it. I hope to record many videos about human resources as well. I have some videos about management theory, I guess, and you can search the playlists to see, right? The main purpose here is not just talking about management or talking about human resources is to provide you insight on business vocabulary, especially if you are a non-native speaker like me, right? I'm Brazilian and I study English. I've been studying English for a long time, and I intend to improve my vocabulary on business. And every day we improve our vocabulary. It's something that we need to do on a daily basis in order to get better, right? And you say, oh, so you have studied English for a long time? Why do you still study it? I guess I will never get tired of studying English. And I believe everybody must study and keep up to date, regardless of the field of study you're in, okay? So as I told you before, it's a strategic process. And now we will be talking about what human resources is about. Okay, in general, of course. In general, human resources is about staffing, compensation, retention, training, dealing with employment laws and policy and building policies. Okay, so we will talk a little about each of these, and throughout the videos we will explore more topics, okay? What is staffing about? Staffing is the recruitment and selection process. For example, staffing is the strategy of bringing people to work for your company, to attract people from the market, right? Because you have a market pool of people available to work. They have their educational formation, they have their competencies and abilities, and you want to hire people, right? So staffing, it's like building, bringing staff for your company, right? Staff is about people to work for your company. So staffing involves the recruitment, the selection process, the hiring process. It's, as people say, right, in the many books, they say, it's like bringing the right people to the right positions at the right time. So it's important to have the right timing, because bring the best people at that moment, people that are available in the market or not. In some situations require you to bring a formation strategy, as people in the market, they aren't as developed as your company wants. Many companies, they like to build a career path or career paths and educational formation path in which they provide formation to people that is not available in the market, or they want to tailor, right, to polish these people, right, as if they were jewelry, right? They have potential, they can be great, talented professionals in the future, but they still need the right formation, they still need the right experience, the right experience, time for getting better, for understanding and being the right fit for the company. The right fit is very complex. It's not just about formation, education. No, it has also to do with culture. Culture fit sometimes is more important than anything else. That's why people and companies, when they hire trainees, for example, I've been monitoring the market, just being curious to see what the selection processes they have now, how they improved over the past years. And it's curious because the focus, okay, we will have here a multiple choice test on mathematics, Portuguese, anything else, but it's basic. The most important steps from the selection processes are about interviews, are about psychological analysis, and to understand the culture fits, because all of us, for example, I have my own values, the beliefs, right? Things that I believe, my own personality, and the company wants people to be better prepared to work for that company. And it's not always easy because, for example, an aggressive company for sales, if I didn't have a job and I applied for such a job, I don't think I would be selected easily because I don't match the profile, right? I don't know, I guess I would be a bad salesman. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe I would be surprised. Maybe the competencies that I believe I don't have, they may be. Is it possible to develop skills, abilities that you don't have? Yes, of course it is. But the company, sometimes they want someone ready to work, ready to play in the market, right? And they don't have either the patience or the resources, because the learning gap requires money, requires formation, requires many different things. So if you need someone for the right now, you bring people who are more experienced. Or you can adopt or there are other strategies. I'm just going further as the ideas come in my head, but you can have other strategies. Okay, I will hire a newbie, right? A person who has recently graduated. Okay, he or she has no experience at all in the job, just maybe the experience period, because here, at least here in Brazil, in order to graduate, at least in my time, you had to have some professional experience. Of course, it's not as if, okay, I have 1 year experience as a trainee, or I was an intern, right? I went to a company and applied for an internship program. Okay, you have experience. It's better than nothing, I guess. And it's good because you work for a company, you understand how a company works, and how you can apply the concepts and the theory you study, because theory you study at school, but when you go for a real job situation, it doesn't work as quite as you thought it would be, right? The situation gets escalates quickly. It's like that. Okay, so what I'm saying is that you can go to the company wants a new employee because not because the company really needs a new employee. It's also an oxygenation strategy, right? In which you can bring new people, new ideas, and it's good. Every company must do that. And you can, for example, a department has a very experienced professional working for that department, and he is needed elsewhere, somewhere else, right? In other departments need him more. For the company, it would be a better fit if he moved to another position in the company. But he can't just go, because if he goes, he leaves a gap, and that gap, it can't be filled easily. So what the company does, brings a new employee for that position, and the experienced professional goes to another position. It's a kind of strategy sort, okay? All right, here in the concept. So you have the staffing, and we will be talking a lot about it, about the attraction strategy, about what the company must do in order to select the best professionals in the market. So it's about the selective process, the interview, and everything related to this. Compensation. Compensation strategy is about money, right? It's about the benefits, the compensation package. Only about the money you earn every month, because everybody has an income, a salary per month, right? Or per week, you name it. Some companies pay twice a month, right? You get part of the money one day and the rest of the salary. So it's like 2 installments. But I don't know how it works in your company. At least all the companies I worked for were like this. Yeah, you had one exception. When I was an English teacher, they paid me just once a month, right? And you can be paid for productivity. For example, if you're a teacher, you can be paid per hour. Okay, so how much money do you get per hour? If you don't give classes, right? If you don't have classes to teach in that month, you receive the minimum salary, right? So you have a minimum salary to receive, and depending on how many classes you teach, you get closer to that minimum, and then you increase. I know it's how it worked for me, but you know it's not that much fair, because you have like a fixed salary, a stable salary per month, for example, a minimum salary. And on top of that, you have productivity salary. You receive more depending on the productivity you have on that period. Okay, so just giving some examples. So compensation is not about just money. It's about the health plan. It's about retirement plan. It's also about educational incentives. Many companies, they offer incentives for children, health incentives, retirement packages. They also may have productivity. People get paid for productivity. People take part and they receive, they have a participation and productivity based on the profits of the company, parts of the profits of the company. And you know, there are many ways. Also, you have food tickets. Many companies, they have partnerships, a partnership with other companies. So for example, if you want to take a course in that college, you will get an amount, a discount, right? You will pay less for that course. And there are many incentives that people who are married, they get, but people who are married with children get, and people who are single like me, they don't get. I don't have an incentive for education, for children education, no. I don't have incentive for health care regarding other people in my family, no, just me. But some people, they offer very broad plans which cover health for even parents or some relatives. Each company has their own rules, right? So compensation is very strategic for the company because it influences the attraction and retention as well. Many people leave the company not only because of salary. Salary, I guess, is not the biggest problem, at least for the biggest companies, largest companies, for example, in Brazil, in the US. I don't think people have much problem about money. The problem people leave the organization is because of relationship with leaders, or they don't feel well fit with the culture. Of course, money is highly important, but you can't say money motivates people. If you have an increase in salary every year, is it important? Yes. If you don't get the increase, the fact of not getting the increase by itself, you can't say, okay, I wish I could get more, but it's okay. But when you realize that you didn't get because another person who didn't deserve as much as you think you would got that recognition, right? So it becomes abstract. It's more value. The perception of value, it's not just about the money. That can demotivate people. When you don't think you are treated fairly in the company, when you don't feel yourself well recognized, right? Getting the proper appraisal for what you do. When you see, that is important, not just money. Money itself is not the problem. The problem is when that fact, that money fact that is tangible, is related to something more, something that goes beyond that. And talking about retention, what the human resources study retention. How you can keep people working for the company, and how you can prevent people from wanting to be dismissed and work for another company, the competition even. And retention is related to that example that I gave. First, retention, not just in the company, but also in the department you work. I'm kind of talking about my own experiences here, but it's important to emphasize that if you're not satisfied with the work, the content of work is one thing. right? The meaning of work, the work must be the activities and the tasks you are given, they must be meaningful to you, and you must feel recognized, you must feel useful, right? Feel that you are giving value, you are contributing to the goals, to the company's goals. I think that's very important. And of course, retention also has to do with compensation, but not only compensation. It's also related to culture. It's also related to training opportunities, right? Because training is also a part of human development. In order to stay and work for the company, you must have opportunities to become better as a person. And these retention strategies are strictly related with training as well. Because if the company doesn't give you the opportunities to learn, to improve, to develop, not only paying courses, because training costs money, right? It costs a lot of money, but it's not in just spending money on training. It's an investment. All of this, the company chooses the best training. You must have a strategic view of the training strategy, right? A strategic view of the training process as well, because it's not only, okay, you can choose the training you want, whatever, blah, blah, blah. No. You must see. The company is also concerned about seeing your core competencies, your abilities, and monitoring your performance and who you are, your career path that the company has chosen for you, or you have chosen a career path yourself. The company analyzes that and sees, okay, this person has a lot to improve, or has a room for improvement in these areas. So in order to cover the gaps, the person must prepare. Or even if he or she doesn't have that many gaps, everybody has some room for improvement. And in order to improve or to get ready for other positions in the company, you must develop. And this development involves some formal education, right? Courses, training, formal training, and being exposed to situations and experiences, learning on the job, right? Learning how to doing is a very used strategy for the companies. They used it a lot, considering that there are many ways in which you can learn how to do things. It's not just studying. Studying theory is not enough. If you're not exposed to real-time, real-life situations and how to tackle some obstacles, how to deal with conflicts, how to negotiate, and working with different people who don't think the same as you do. Because workplace is full of this. Every day has many challenges, many situations you have to deal with, and you don't learn this studying theory. You must be exposed to these situations, okay? Okay, so that's good enough for now. Next is in the next few videos we talk about human resources. We will continue talking about it. we talked a little about the concept, the general concept of human resources. And don't forget, it's also important to emphasize that this channel has almost 800 videos and has much content, many videos, and they are scattered throughout many different playlists. And we have content in English, like this, right? Aimed at intermediate advanced people, as well as basic videos which have explanations in Portuguese. And we talk about English grammar. We have a complete English grammar video course, right? The basic topics of English grammar, they are all available to you. You just open the main page of the channel and you search the topics you want to study. It's that simple. Vocabulary, business English, reading, news, exercises, you name it. Everything related to English and business administration or business English as well is available to you. And I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you get the latest updates. And give a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed the content, okay? See you soon. Bye-bye.